This thing is not human, it's a ghost. And that's the belief of the Jola people in West Africa. And I know you must have seen videos of this twirling and magical masquerade, and you probably often times wonder what kind of motion is that? What is it doing? Why does it do that? How does it do that? Amazing, right? But to the people, this is a celebration of culture. This is their heritage. This is who they are. And when they give their all and give that great, powerful, energetic dance, it comes from a place of belief that people can exist side by side with the divine and experience what it's like to be in the presence of one's God. Because in the cosmology of the Diola people, the Kumpo is not just a masked dancer. The Kumpo is, as a matter of fact, a spirit. And not just any spirit, it is a spirit of the divine creator himself. And that is why you say that there are lots of rules that apply to the Kumpo, right? But then the funny thing is, I get all those comments and people say, "Oh, I see the legs. The Kumpo has legs." So whether it appears to be walking or sometimes that it seems to be gliding, I dare say, yeah, legs are visible. You should be able to see a pair of legs because the Kumpo is having a human experience. And yes, spirits can have legs, ghosts can have legs. Now, whether they need the legs to work, as in transport from place to place, it's totally different. But yeah, the Kumpo dances, technically you need feet to dance. But we're going to address that later. But look at the wide range of motion it's able to make, like this subtle movement. Sometimes it seems to be rolling over, and sometimes the Kumpo just goes a little crazy, and then it's like a little whirlwind or like a big whirlwind, depending on how it feels. To our minds, the Kumpo would always remain one of those very mystical, mysterious, magical masked dances that Africa has. Because how do you explain this phenomenon before our very eyes? That a bunch of grass with a stick on what would be its head, it's able to do the whirlwind dance. And if you thought this is nothing special, then maybe we can give you a basket with some grass in it and put a stick on it, and then we can see what you can do. And yeah, did I mention the Kumpo is acrobatic? He loves to perform all kinds of acrobatic feats. Sometimes he drops the sticks, sometimes he jumps over people, and then sometimes it's just a bunch of Kumpos joined together without the sticks and then swirl in a very crazy way. And you can see it turning with stuff. And yeah, I did mention it loves to leap over people and stuff. So irrespective of how a person feels about this, I think can all agree that this is not very possible for a regular person to do. But then that is not all about the Kumpo. You must also look at the rituals that it performs, because the Kumpo is not just a mere masquerade dance. It's a ritual. It's a prayer every time that it occurs. Because not only does it seem to entertain people, but unlike other African masquerades that are considered spirits, It's pretty okay with being around women. That's something you don't see among other very serious mask performances. Usually, women don't belong to masquerade cults and don't come in close proximity with such masquerades, but not the Kumpo. It even lets itself get touched by women, well, in some way, since touching is generally prohibited. Because you see, the Kumpo comes in company of two other masquerades, the Niase and the Sane, but the Kumpo is the only one that can't be touched and that does not socialize. The Niase is pretty funny with the humping dance that it does, and the Sane is the one that keeps the peace, the one armed masquerade with the stick. But then it kind of does this playful thing where it's able to socialize with people, tries to keep uh, people in check, and keep the peace, the order in the community. Um, so it's all fun, with these three masquerades, Same, Niase, and the Kumpo. But Kumpo is the no-no, no one gets to touch it. Because it does all the serious stuff, like it gives a message to the people, because yes, it speaks, but it speaks to an interpreter because it doesn't speak human language. It speaks something weird and out of this world. And when the compo is not speaking, it's doing some very weird, difficult to understand things. Now, consider this: for a masquerade that is made out of straw, so technically it is a bunch of grass, it does not burn. It occasionally tries to set itself ablaze as a demonstration of just how powerful it is, and it doesn't seem to work. Kind of makes me think of the burning bush. But then, besides such theatrics, the Kumpo is also able to impact blessings on people and on the community. So whenever it whirls and twirls, it brings down blessings of God on the people, and you can see it receive veneration as though it were a deity. Because yes, to a lot of to the people from where this masquerade comes, it is considered that kind of spirit receives honor, adoration, and one would even say worship. So, what is the mystery of the Compo? And should you ever visit Senegal or the Gambia, would you want to see this masked dance? Would you, if you're ever in Senegal or the Gambia, would you want to see this performance? Let me know in the comment section.